Hi YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is like I said I was going to do last week, on showing you all my expenses for the week, and well, what I spent in a week rather, for the week of Monday the April the 14th through the 20th. So like I've mentioned before, I had gotten out of expense tracking, and I think that's because I wasn't doing so well with it. And then I also wasn't keeping up on the actual budget. So that was another situation. I think moving forward, and I believe I mentioned this before, where I would do a budget, but then I wouldn't hold to it. And I would make like ways that I would break it. So lately I've realized that, yeah, I may not go out like fast food to eat. However, I'll go to like Mariano's or Pete's, where they have food that's out, like hot food, and I'll get that, or I'll get sushi, or I'll get both. What's been happening lately is I've been getting lunch and dinner there, because the times that I work, I'm at work for lunch and dinner. So I was getting like lunch, like I'd get sushi for lunch, and then like a hot dinner, whatever I choose for the evening. But if you've been to any of those places and you've gotten food, then you know you pay by the pound. So if you're getting something like broccoli or chicken, something that's heavy, rice, potatoes, anything like that, it's gonna weigh more, so it's gonna cost. And essentially, it's almost like I was still eating out, just in a different form. So I wasn't being so good with that. Um, and those are some things. That's the reason why expense tracking is so important. It's also the reason why I'm trying to get back into it. But moving forward, because I wasn't doing a good job with the budget, I said that I would only budget two things. So going into May, I'm only going to budget two things and see if I can hold to that. So I think it's going to be like eating out and personal. I don't know if it should be eating out or groceries. Probably eating out and personal, because those are the two that I really struggle with. So let's get into this. When I do expense tracking, I don't do any bills that I've paid, because that's something that I have to do no matter what. So I don't do any bills that I paid. I only do what exactly it is that I'm, what it is, everything else. So like eating out. So my categories are gas, and along with gas is cart maintenance. So anything gas and cart maintenance goes in that category. Personal, which is anything for myself, eating out, kids, grocery, and household products. And then miscellaneous is something that might have just came up by chance, like birthdays or anything like that, or everything in between, because I've also changed my categories as far as what I save. So I don't really do sinking funds anymore. I mean, I have a few, but they're like long term. So yeah. So Monday, so I log everything down. At the end of the week, I color code it, and then I add everything up. I total out each day, because most times when I am tracking, like in the book here, this is this week, I'll have like a sticker that shows expenses per day. And then, I can total it out and see. Oh, I should have. I'm not gonna move it. I'll just put total at the top. It should have been at the bottom, but I'll put total at the top, and then I'll highlight. And then for here, this is like balances for checking and all of that. and then I'll put this at end of week. So that way I can see what my account balances is at the end of the week. I want to eventually get into like the Budget Mom does, where she tracks her checking account and like what's coming in and out. And I think that's so cool because you know exactly what's in your bank. But let's see. The Monday, I had Chipotle, no spending for Tuesday. For Wednesday, I paid my daughter's lunch money. I paid into that account. And Pete's a grocery store. I spent $23 there. So let's go back to Monday. Monday is Chipotle, $11. And I have here GC and it's circled. That means I used the gift card. So technically, it didn't technically come out of my money, but I used the gift card. If I didn't, I would have paid $11. I also circled my daughter's lunch because, yes, that's for my kids, but it's also a different way that I'm kind of tracking that. So that's down. That was Wednesday. Thursday, I spent a lot of money. I also noticed that when I'm not at work, obviously I spend money, and I think it's because I do a combination of grocery shopping and all of that. So Thursday, $7 at Dunkin' Donuts. I've been going and getting that $6 meal. I got my plate sticker, and that was $157, and that came out of my credit union. So I have a CU and it's circle. So that money I didn't have to charge it. I was ready to charge it, but I didn't have to charge it or anything. Because I got my sticker at my credit union, they had to take it out. It was either cash or they had to take it out of the account. That's totally fine. I saved there, so it was no biggie. P.O. Box, I used a credit card to pay my P.O. Box, and I paid it for the year, and it was $188. I went to Barna Beef, and that was $15. And then I went to Cassie's, which is a gas station, but they have like inside that they sell food and all of that, and that was $18. And there I pretty much got a bunch of drinks because I worked overnight that night, so I had needed to stay woke. So I got that. Friday, and the drinks were, one of them was rather expensive. So one of the drinks I got was the Starbucks, the pink drink thingy, and that was like $4 something. And I was like, wow. So being mindful of what you're actually getting at the grocery store or wherever you're going is also important. So like, yes, you may not be spending literally at a Starbucks place, but you're still spending and it's still costing a lot. The next one, Friday, my son had a haircut. That was $25. Takeout food, that was $20. And then JPay was $10. So, my goodness. Saturday, I got my friend a gift card for her birthday, $20. Dollar Tree, $20, and that was for my kids' Easter basket, and then some items for that. And then Sunday was Pete's grocery again. So whenever it's low amounts for grocery, that pretty much means that I got food there, like food from the hot place, or I got sushi or something. Because whatever I get from like grocery wise is always a lot more. So like today is the 24th, but I'm going to do a grocery pickup for tomorrow, but it's going to be at Aldi's. So that my groceries are never that low. So Monday, a total of $11. Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, $43. Thursday, my goodness, $3.85. But I have to give myself grace because my plate sticker and the P.O. Box was hefty charges. Friday was $55, Saturday $40, and Sunday $10. So the total for all of my categories, sorry if you hear outside, I have my window open. So the total for gas, and I said how gas and car maintenance is in, was $157. Total for the week for personal was $10. Total for the week for eating out was $71. Total for the week for my kids was $65. Groceries, household things, $33, and miscellaneous $208 for a total of $544. And that is a lot. That's a lot. Especially considering this is not my bills. This isn't like necessarily what I spent this week on bills either. So expense tracking is so important. It lets you know where you're going. Like, I would advise this even if you don't budget. So like, even if you're not a person that budgets, I think we can all benefit from expense tracking because it just keeps us on track. And it shows us where you're doing good at, like areas that you're doing good at, but then also areas that you need improvement on, but also why am I spending so much? And if you're the type of person that journal, you can look back even to think about, or like if you journal or if you track your mood, you can easily look back and say, okay, I was really down this day. So maybe when I ate out the whole day, that kind of explains it. So that is something that I suggest doing. I know I'm going to cringe looking at this week's expenses because yesterday I spent quite a bit. Today, because I did my Amazon purchase last night. I was writing it down now, but I need to erase that. But I did my Amazon purchase last night, and I can already tell by looking at what I have now, I can already tell that I spent a lot on eating out. Today was different. Me and my mom, we went to like small places. She wanted something from Wendy's, and I treated her, and I got Dunkin' Donuts, and then went to Mariano's for a donut because their donuts are cheaper than Dunkin' Donuts. So I went there, and yeah. But sometimes you need to treat yourself. That's the reason why I'm being mindful of what you spend going out to eat. So like, say for instance, you've eaten out all week, but then your friend's birthday or a family celebration is on the weekend. Then you feel worse about your spending because now in that situation you might have to spend when you look back at earlier through the weekend. You thought maybe, like I did, I could have brought a sandwich, I could have prepped better. So that is what I plan to do for this upcoming week. I'm going to do a taco soup. So I have that, either a taco soup or a taco casserole. And I'll have that for during the week, and then maybe a sandwich to like mix it up so I don't have the same thing for all the days. But yes, that is all. I hope you all enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know down below if you expense track, if you budget. Are you new in the game? Is it something that you have been doing for a while? Any tips, anything like that? But that is all. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.